Okay, I just wanted to discuss the rising of energy through the center. I didn't talk about that before when I was talking about centering, but in the meditation I did some rising through the center. And it actually is a very useful tool when done correctly. Now, I used to do rising the way my master taught me to do it, but it was done the way I was doing it and the way I observed others doing it. It actually wasn't necessarily beneficial for development, meaning the rising of energy through the center can be actually harmful if done incorrectly. And it's very simple to understand why. Think of it like this. If you rise a negative energy through your center, desire, pride in the negative sense, fear, doubt, worry, anger, blame, complaint, and you start to rise that through your centers, you can literally poison your own energetic condition. So, you think of those negative emotions like poison, like in the sense that they don't do you any service. They turn your life perspective darker and more cynical and more negative. The Buddha put it best, right? Being angry with someone is like drinking poison and expecting them to die. And if you're going to rise a unbalanced or negative energy through your center, you're going to poison yourself. That's the drinking of poison. You can look it up. There's a lot of documented cases of people who've done, for example, Kundalini work, where they've risen energy through their centers and unbalanced themselves and become psychotic or, unbalanced as a person. So, in my experience, I used to do it, in not such a beneficial way for my own skill, noticing imbalances in myself and in others, doing it, let's say I wasn't conscious of the level of energy that I was rising, so to speak. So, I stopped rising for a while in order to cleanse my central column. So I was working with the Researchers of Truth in Cyprus and discussing, the rising of energy and how it can be beneficial for martial and spiritual upliftment and even healing work, right? Rising energy through the center. And essentially they knew straight away that, okay, don't rise through your center for now. You should just be cleansing the center and then let the rising of the energy naturally occur. So I took a pause on rising and I just focused on light in my center. And I actually took that back and started teaching that at my school in Hong Kong at the time. And when I did start working more with light and energy as my paradigm, I did notice that, it was much easier to handle, training partners. So I wasn't having as much pressure come into my system. Now, coming back to the point, when we rise energy, you must be sure that your intention is in alignment with your highest intention. So a pure, calm, loving, peaceful, powerful, joyful, acceptance, forgiveness, all that good stuff. So check out the map of consciousness and you'll know exactly what I mean from Power versus Force or from Letting Go. And that will help you to be sure that you rise in the correct way. So you can rise through your actual center. It's not the wrong thing to do, even though I stopped doing it for a while to be sure that I didn't do it wrong. But then once I found that you could actually do it in a safe way through other lessons and teachings, meaning alignment with the correct intention and getting that good frequency first so you actually feel good before you rise, then you can actually do it in a beneficial way. And it can also be a great kind of tool to snap yourself out of negative mindsets or moods, so to speak. You can just relax, breathe that up through your center, and you'll notice you can actually get yourself into a pretty good condition pretty quickly once you've trained that over time. So I do work with rising through the center now. I stopped for a while because of the potential harmful effects to my students and myself. But now I've found that you can do it in a quite uplifting and positive way, and it does help with the manifestation of power in your Kung Fu and in your life. Now, it's not that you have to continually think of it rising up constantly. It's like a risenness. So we do it in a sequential way when you practice in the state training, right? So that you can get an actual experience for it. So face that open. So, as I described in the meditation, it's like, a marble of light down at the tail that starts to rise up through somewhat like a fountain, so to speak, right? And it rises up to the crown, and it sinks down as you release, and it rises up through, and it sinks down as you release, and so on and so forth, according to your breath. So that you can start to get an actual sense of it. You can start to uplift your energy. You can start to align your center. So you use that part of the practice not as a constant distraction from being in the state, more so as a tool to get a feeling for it, and then it should be more that you're risen, yeah? So you're risen through the center already, like the fountain is on, you know, as opposed to, I'm rising up through my center, okay, it's there now I relax down, I better start again, rising through my center. It's too sequential, it's too linear. The state is more non-linear, it's more of a condition. So, that's a little bit of information for you guys on the rising of energy through the center. I use it in state training, and you can utilize it in your form training. Perhaps you're doing your form and your emotional quality drops, or tension is building in a part of your body. You can think of, okay, rise that intention through the center and sink down and dissolve and release on an emotional and on a physical level. Okay, any questions? Put them in the community. Thank you so much for following our content and also for learning and spreading this teaching. You're all freaking amazing, and I'm so happy that you're here. Any questions, chuck them in there, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.